This is the original ride or die partner of the Subfacts podcast, Andy from Creative Underground. Subfacts is the best podcast in the world, and that is not a subfact. That is a fact. Come back every week for more hijinks from Matt and Mooney, and for all your professional audio and video production needs, come see me at creativeunderground.co, not .com.
Hello and welcome to Subfacts. I'm your host, Matt. I'm here with my partner in crime, Mooney. What's up, Mooney?
I'll tell you what's not up.
What?
The internet. Like I must have turned my phone on and off 500 times today trying to get to websites, thinking my phone was down.
We might be having technical difficulties, but I believe you broke the internet, sir.
How do I am not technically sound? How do I break the internet?
You caused a big commotion last week. I'll tell you how.
I don't know how I break anything. I sit in my chair, I make fun of you, I drink my vodka and iced tea, and that's it.
So I know you don't go back and listen to the shows.
Never.
So I think it was Saturday morning, whenever, I decided, let me check out the YouTube version of our show.
You say hello to us. What up?
What up? And multiple times within that show, you decided to touch your boys a little bit. You gave them a little bit of a high five. I was scratching away. And so,
really?
I'm not going to lie.
I'm a nut scratcher?
Yeah. Brian and I were actually going to put the greatest hits package together. And I might do that. But I was sitting there going, oh, that's awkward. You know, I lost track of what we were talking about because
that's hilarious.
You were like definitely scratching away, sir. And so
all right, I'll try to keep my hand.
No, we actually raised the camera up a little bit today.
Okay,
so
we're
scratch
good.
Away, my friend. If the urge happens, you're free.
Okay. I itch a lot. I mean, I'm an itchy person.
Viewers are going to always assume now if he puts his hand down below the camera, it's going to be like, is he itching his balls?
All I can say is the heart wants it, the heart wants. And so with that, you know, awesome. That might be the name of the show. Balls itch.
Is he going to itch his balls? That's the name of the
Itchy
show.
balls? I don't know. So with that being said, boom.
All right.
Time for the warm.
So the warm up this week. First question: would you rather only be able to write or type anything in emoji, or never be able to eat pizza ever again?
Hate this question.
Oh.
So this question I did because we were going to have a possible guest on the show.
Yeah,
and
absolutely.
I was trying to make.
I would choose writing an emoji. If I could, as long as I could still eat pizza, I'm writing in emojis.
I downright loathe emojis.
I'm not the biggest fan,
possible,
but I could get through.
I don't understand it. Like you could like literally write anything you want in emojis. I would have no idea what you're talking about. I just don't. I never understand.
It would be hard to communicate proactively, but reactively, you could just put, happy face, frowny face, anger face, right?
That's all I would do. I would be like the quietest emoji texter, whatever.
But then like, you think of going to this concert tonight? Poop emoji, right?
Yeah, it would just be like that. But I wouldn't even understand the questions people could ask me if they were an emoji.
But what would you do at work?
I would have to do everything in emoji.
Oh, if it's work? Oh no.
See, here's the thing. Like, I
might give up pizza. As stupid as that sounds.
I know. What I was going to say is like, I've been working on trying to drop some lbs, so I haven't really been able to eat pizza anyway. So like, I wouldn't want to give up pizza for the rest of my life because that would suck. But while I'm still on this trajectory, just to say we're answering the question, I'd probably go with the pizza so I don't have to write in emojis.
Yeah, I would probably give up pizza because, you could always get around it with like tacos and quesadillas and...
Yeah, like could you have like mozzarella sticks and dip them in the...
Absolutely, yeah.
That's not a pizza.
Or breadsticks with cheese and dip it in the
It's not
sauce.
a pizza. Breadsticks are not pizza.
Yeah, so I think we'd get around it. I think that's
You
what
could
we
easily
do.
get around it.
Mhm. Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Can you believe Joe?
You make a grilled cheese with bread and mozzarella cheese, and then you dip it in tomato sauce.
Can you
Absolutely.
believe this show actually just gave up pizza for
I don't.
emojis?
I mean, there's ice. It must be a full moon or a blue.
Brian's an
I don't
evil
know.
person for coming up
I
with
swear
this
to God.
question.
It's literally CCR is playing Bad Moon Rising
Yeah,
right now.
absolutely.
All right. Next question. What did you want to do your job to be when you were a kid?
Oh man.
I have a weird one.
I changed a few times, but I never really wanted to be an astronaut or a policeman or a firefighter. Man, oddly enough, I wanted to be in sports. Like I wanted to play sports. I wanted to be a pro athlete.
The funny thing is, I'm neither Jewish or Italian, but when I was a little kid, I wanted to own either a Jewish deli or an Italian deli.
That
What?
I
That
don't-
was your dream?
yes. Like I always thought,
You know that was very easy to accomplish.
I just never. Well, the funny thing, I actually did
You get a loan and you open a deli and you can do it.
when I
still do
was. I probably
Easy.
could, I probably could, but when I was I don't know if I was in high school or something, but I applied to work at like a butcher shop / deli type thing, and I realized at that point it probably wasn't really for me. But when I was a kid, I fantasized because I watched a lot of movies, like Brighton Beach Memoirs and stuff where it's like New York deli,
Right.
and it was always like an old Italian guy or an old Jewish guy, and like a fat, with the
And you
apron.
wanted to be that guy.
I was like, that's me. That's what I'm gonna do. I got the fat part right, but like
Wow, that's insane.
I don't know why. Like
How does that happen? How do you want to be a deli owner?
I just thought that was my in. I thought that was my
Usually deli owners are like it runs in the family. It's
Yeah.
passed down generation.
and none
to
of that
generation.
none of that is in my family. So it just
That's
for some reason
weird.
I was just like I wanted to do the meat slicer. Like I wanted to just go and like, is this thin enough?
Have you ever ran a meat slicer?
No.
Oh,
But
I've
I'm
never
like-
I've never ran one either.
Like
I'm afraid I would cut my finger off in one of those things.
could be, but I'm gonna be like,
Because you get your finger close to the thing where you slice the meat.
well, like
and-
no, but it's got that like
that shield
barrier
thing,
thing, the shield thing. So you're not actually doing that. Your hand is underneath and you have the shield. So you're just.
I'd find a way. I know I would find a way.
I'm like, hey, Mrs. Shelbourne, can you tell
Shelbourne?
does Shecky like it this
Shecky
thin?
Shelbourne?
Yes, why not?
Where do you come up with these names?
I don't know, but I'm like, is this thin enough? Mrs. Shelbourne.
Maybe a little thicker,
I think that would just be awesome.
right?
Yeah, I think.
What's your name? Is it still Matt? Matt's not a good deli.
That's what
owner
I'm saying.
name.
I'm like I said, I'm not Italian. I'm not Jewish.
You could keep it Schneebly, maybe Mr. Schneebly, right? Maybe.
I don't know. It's not as cool. Like I would have to but I would even.
What's
have
your
to-
middle name?
No, I'd have to change everything. I'd have to change like my name to be like, because Matt's not a deli owner name.
No, it's not. Nowhere near.
I need like a Tony or a
Tony or Sal,
or Sal would be great. Or
right?
Yeah, or Mel.
Mel, like if you're going Jewish, then you could
Yeah.
go like
Shecky.
Shecky. No, Shecky's fine.
I'm telling you, I need like, I don't know if I would last day one, and I don't even like most of the deli meats, but like
Arnold, right? That's a
yeah, I think I would, but that's what I wanted to be when I was a kid. I fantasized about it. I was like, that's it.
I
10.
was not expecting that at all. Awesome.
No,
All right. Last question. White Castle was number 50 out of the top 50 fast food restaurant businesses ranked by sales in 2021. So basically dead last. How would you improve their sales to get them into the top?
Oh wow.
You know what I've noticed with White Castles? I think location is everything, and
They're not in the best locations.
They're never in the best locations.
They're
And
always in
they're always in
subpar locations.
shady locations, and I think that's why. I think if they put them, if you put a White Castle in like our area, it would gangbusters. It would make so much more money.
I think I agree with you, but you also have to change their look and brand. Like the blue and white and like the castle logo. I think you probably have to change. I don't know if you keep the name. You might have to change the name too, but you definitely have to do work on the marketing and the brand imaging and like the advertising. They don't advertise really at all.
That's
So
the thing is and they've never had to because they were always so great and they accounted on it. But you're right. I think a good advertising campaign and also the other thing they in my opinion, they've made a mistake. The last couple times I've been there, they've branched out and made little chicken sandwiches, little fish sandwiches, little all that.
they've had that for a while.
No, but just stick with what works. Stick with
Burger, chicken,
stick
right?
with the burger. Don't even do the chicken.
The chicken they've had forever. I've had the chicken when I was younger.
But nothing beats the burger. The actual.
So do you think the frozen grocery store, national grocery store sales hurt them at all? Because like I don't think those sandwiches are as good as like the fresh.
I think it did because for people like me who we don't live near one, and I only go to them if I'm on travel. But like I'll go to the grocery store and pick them up. What to your point, they're not as good, but they still do the job.
Right, but
So-
somebody that's never been to like a fresh White Castle, like an actual store,
And they've
gotten them.
only had the grocery
Yeah,
store
and then
one.
they're like,
Yeah, it
so-
might hurt.
Mhm.
I also think they absolutely need to make their place look cleaner.
Well,
All
that's what I'm
of the
saying.
white
They're in
cla-
bad locations. it
right,
seems.
but they all look dirty. Like
Yeah.
all of them. When you go in, it looks dirty, and then you
Mm-hmm.
look behind the counter, you see what they're cooking. You'd have to make it look cleaner. I guess more.
You can't say fresh because look at them. We've all had them. They're not exactly good for you. You know what
Right,
I mean?
but you
Like,
could make them look better. You could make it look better. There are ways. I'm sure there are ways.
but I think people are sleeping on the actual slider because even like in the 80s, Burger King, and they brought them back in like the early 2000s, but they had these like burger bundles or
I
burger
remember
whatever
those.
I love them.
They were good.
It-
Yeah.
But I don't know why people don't buy into them. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
I don't know why that's not a bigger thing. I don't know
You know-
why McDonald's doesn't do it. Wendy's doesn't do it.
You know what
It
also?
failed for Burger King.
You know what also?
Hmm.
That box they serve it in.
Mhm.
That in today's day and age, no one wants like a box where like germs can get in on top. Like you got to get like them wrapped in paper. I
Yeah.
know it would suck, and I know it would take a lot longer, but people would appreciate the fact that it was wrapped in some sort
Actually,
of paper.
I like the box because I can just go one big bite.
I understand that with today's day and age, on most people, they're going to get the freaked out thing with
Yeah, I hate those people.
right because the box is only really good for fries, but like no one serves a burger in a box.
If anything, I don't even need the box. Just give me the suitcase full of them without the box, whatever.
and you're just going to pound them
I'm just gonna.
like
like,
M&Ms.
Yes,
Boop, boop,
that's
boop.
exactly how I do. Also, crinkle fries. Their fries could be better. Crinkle fries aren't that great.
Crinkle fries when they're crispy are solid.
Yeah, but nobody like.
Rarely are they crispy though.
For me, I don't ever think about their fries. I just go straight for the burgers. But they could probably amp up their fries. Maybe put a good dessert in there because I don't think they have
See,
good desserts.
why don't they hire Subfax?
They really should.
Subfax brand
That's why-
imaging.
that's why
We're
I asked the
done.
question. That's
Mhm.
why I asked the question. All right. Well, that is the end of
Oh. Our boy Peter Billingsley, which is the end of me ever watching a Christmas Story movie ever again.
God,
But it's a good
he
segue.
looks so weird.
He does. It's a good segue though, because I've been struggling this year more than ever. Because you know me, I get all amped up I try to get amped up for the holidays,
Right.
and get things going. But for some reason this year, and it could have been my last couple weeks, where like I think I've just been completely void of like the Christmas spirit. I don't have the Christmas feel. I think even in our area, the weather's not even really
Yeah,
that
the weather kind of
conducive.
sucks.
It's not like, and people are like the people around me don't even have like the Christmas spirit. Like there's nobody. Remember, like a couple
Even
years
at work, there's not Christmas spirit. Yeah, I mean, it's
there used to be a lot more pay it forwards, that kind of thing.
Yeah,
Where and even when you see people at the store, you're polite. You're more polite. You hold the door. But like there's things that I do normally throughout the year, but a lot of other people don't do it. And so usually
I
around
think
Christmas you see that stuff.
well, I think it's half the maybe 30% is inflation, maybe 30% is interest rate, maybe another is political climate, maybe another is like there's just so many, like it's a year after like everyone celebrated 2021 Christmas together after being in isolation
So
for
I guess
so long.
now people are just in this weird like, what am I doing?
Right. It's like sort of like getting back to normal, and maybe you're like people like, oh wow, this is what it was like, right?
Yeah. So I've been kind of in this like weird little funk where I've been trying to figure it out.
But I'm with you. There's a lot of people in the funk.
Yeah. And so the other thing about it was this time last year, I was in Germany where they literally our Christmas was invented in Germany. So
let's not go too far, but
no, it's actually kind of true if you look at the history. But that's weird.
I mean, let's pump the brakes.
The reason we have
bit.
trees in our house and stuff, German. Anyway,
okay.
So
pump the brakes.
But what I'm saying is, in Europe, they focus on like Christmas Christmas markets,
right,
all that kind of stuff. Here, they don't really do that much.
Yeah,
and so
I'm with you.
So you get that like there was definitely a huge Christmas onslaught last year, whereas this year it's like. It's a
slowdown. It's a slowdown.
And so I think my wife is going through the same thing because she's been really trying to find anything she can Christmas related to go to as a family. And so you see various tree lightings or whatever, and they're kind of stupid. But then we've been hosed recently because we keep seeing these ads for like, oh, this is a Christmas market. And
right.
It's like, well, let me go see what a Christmas market looks
and it
like.
doesn't live up to its name.
And
right,
you get there and all it is another farmer's market, which they do every weekend. So it's
kind of stupid.
They add some lights, but there's no Christmas feel.
I'm with you.
You don't get it.
The Christmas vibe isn't around this year. It's just not.
No. So I tried going to this thing called Enchant, which is like a professional light thing. And because I was like, maybe that's going to bring on the Christmas spirit for the family type of thing. And they have them all over the country. Ours just happens to be in DC at Nats Park. And basically it's just like they advertise it as like the world's biggest light show or something like that. It's kind of stupid. But anyway, you go there and there is a Santa Claus, but and there's Christmas carols playing, but it doesn't have that. It still doesn't have that, like, I don't know what it is, the magic or whatever. Right. It was just a straight money grab. Like they had little shops set up, and it was all like, art. There was some arts and crafts, but a lot of it was just Enchant gift. You might as well just be at the gift shop at anything. So it lost its there really wasn't that big like.
I'm telling you, it's
just
not
what I'm waiting.
It's not in the air this year.
It really isn't. And so that's what I was kind of wondering. Am I the only one?
No,
you think
you're not. Like stores, everything. It's just not in the air this year.
Yeah, it's weird. And so
I don't even. Yeah, it's just not.
I've been trying. It's not for lack of trying. Like I did the house, Christmas stuff, but all that stuff. But
I'm telling you, just not.
Yeah,
I don't feel it.
Yeah, and you're the guy who goes in like you don't stress about it or think about it much until like the 24th, and that's when you do all your shopping and you're ready to go. So
I like Christmas. I do, but it's I just don't feel I don't feel the energy that it normally has. I don't know. Something's missing.
It is. Something does seem to be.
By the way, you need to rescind your Father of the Year stuff. Because.
Well, don't talk about my Father of the Year stuff because I have little ears that can hear our show. So
I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about you, and you're like, I took care of my mom.
Well, yeah, there's a few things where I've been Father of the Year. Yeah.
My brother wakes up every day to cook breakfast. He cooks dinner for his wife and daughter and his son when he used to be there. Mm-hmm. And you complain about having to do it for 2 weeks. How does that make you Father of the Year?
What do you mean? I don't like.
He does it every day for every day of the year. You do it for 2 weeks and you're like, oh my God, I'm father of the year.
At that point, it's expected. For me, it's not expected.
So it's not expected and you do it. That makes you father of the year.
No, for instance, there's people like my brother cooks every meal. And
so he's more father of the year than you.
No.
Why not?
So let's say if a mom cooks every meal, is she mother of the year when there's 50 million other moms that probably do the exact same thing?
That's what I'm saying.
It's no. It's when you go out of what you normally do is what makes you go.
So wait a minute. So you don't do normally as much as other people, but it's still father of the year because you're doing more than you normally do.
Yes.
That makes zero sense.
No,
no one's going to buy into that.
When you're going over and above what you normally do.
No. Okay, no one's going to buy into that. But that's okay. I just wanted to cover that really.
Hey, if people want to write in and figure out what means father of the year, but like I said, if you're making every meal and you've always done that, then but if let's say he's never cleaned the house but only does the cooking and then decides to cook and clean, father of the year.
All right, I think we need some more other opinions on father of the year.
Brian, have you any thoughts on this one?
I mean, Space Coast Bill's a father.
You're a
like
father,
Morgie's a father. So, I mean,
yeah.
I think we need.
I think
put on father of the year.
You know, to Matt's point, you know, he was doing something that wasn't like normally the family dynamic, and so he completely took over. You know, and I'm not discounting what Rob does, because that's awesome what he does, and I'm sure his wife really appreciates it and stuff, but I'm sure his wife does other things too to like kind of make up for the stuff that Rob's doing.
Absolutely does.
So,
absolutely. And I'm not discounting what Raju does.
Yeah.
All I'm saying is you can't be father of the year just because you go out of your way for 2 weeks.
Oh no, I'm father of the year for a bunch of other things too.
What?
One of which I can't go into. Which is what I thought you were alluding to at the very beginning, but we'll talk about that. We'll talk about that next year.
Right, next year. I mean, I wasn't gonna blow your cover.
Yeah,
dude.
Don't do that. That would suck. And so, anyway, while we were talking about Christmas, I do kind of want to go into a little bit of a administrative mode here for the listeners. You had mentioned last week that we're going to do some evergreen shows.
Yes.
Obviously to cover the holidays, and we'll make sure that we have a new show for everybody. But we're going to basically do what we're attempting to do. Every time we say we're going to do a 1 hour episode, it always turns into like a 2 hour episode.
Right.
But our goal is to do
a couple of 1 hour
of 1 hour episodes. And so you'll get new stuff. It just won't have any
new to you.
Yeah, new to you. It just won't have any timely things on it, like this movie comes out this week,
But I mean, think about it. TV shows record like 15 episodes at once. It means the same thing.
So what I'm going to do, folks, is give you the homework.
We're going to give you the entertainment. Trust us.
So I'm going to give you the homework. Couple of the topics that we're going to cover in those evergreen shows, you can actually chime in on. So
absolutely.
One of the topics, and you can consider this homework or not, is you're going to basically create the perfect football team, and we'll give you the parameters of players live and or dead.
Yeah, any player that played football for an NFL football team.
Yes, and the key position, it's going to be strictly key positions. So we don't need to go through every little thing, but obviously you've got your quarterback, you've got your running back, you've got your
two wide
receivers,
tight end,
and then just overall defense.
O-line, and defense.
So
overall defense, not D-line, overall defense and offensive line.
Okay, that makes sense. Okay.
Yeah, so don't pick an offensive line player,
yes.
Pick a whole offensive line, like a Dallas 88 offensive line, or like Chicago Bears 85 defense, right?
Yeah, something like that, or like the steel curtain type.
Yes, that's exactly right.
Something like that. So, and it's something that obviously, in the vein of us like recasting movies like Police Academy and whatnot, we're essentially going to cast our favorite or the perfect
What we
football
think
team.
is the best football team ever.
And obviously, since there's been 50 million players in the world, we're not all going to have the same team.
Right.
So
And we might have the same quarterback, but I hate that guy, so I won't choose him.
yeah, exactly. So anyway, so that's going to be one of the challenges from the recasting perspective. The next one is going to be for those fans of music.
Yes.
Basically, you're going to create the perfect band.
Yes.
And that is, obviously the major lead singer, guitar player. You can throw a rhythm guitar player if you'd like, bass player, of course, and drummer. You can add a keyboardist if you would like. But create.
Okay, but wait a minute. I agree with what you like, but how many members total should we go? 5 or 4?
I think you at least have to have at least one guitar player, one singer, one drummer, and one bass player.
Okay,
I think those
are the 4.
I think that's
how many additional band members can they add?
I would say that you could add a rhythm guitar player that makes perfect sense, and a keyboardist if you have to.
So you can add up to 2 more.
I think so.
Okay.
I think that would be fair.
Okay.
I would say, how about this? No more than 6 people.
That's what I'm saying. I like that rule.
No more than 6. And then you just run with it from that perspective.
I like that rule.
But you're creating your perfect band of players, live or dead. So I think that'd be cool.
Yeah, live or dead again. Obviously, that would be. I think that would. No. That's perfect. And we're gonna add in some other stuff that we want to do ourselves. Mm-hmm. But I like opening it up for that, and then we'll have plenty of evergreen material.
Yeah, I think that'll work. So, folks. Now is the time to write into subfactspodcast@gmail.com.
And by the way, new people, don't be afraid. Write in, and we'll make it a fun show for everybody.
And you can do one or both of those. So just write them in. But we really need everything in
by next Thursday.
So just do it this week.
It could be 5 minutes ahead of time, just by next Thursday.
Yes. And then we'll be able to discuss it. Obviously, if you miss the cutoff, we'll bring it up the next time we do a live show.
Yeah, we're not going to hold you out in the cold.
Exactly.
Now that we're talking about it, so I was at Loudoun County Brewing last night, which is fantastic. Get this, they had a story. It's called Tales and Ales. Mm-hmm. So they do this presentation every quarter at Old Ox Brewery. And the what do you call it? Auditions are at Loudoun County Brewing, and I was like, "What? And what is it? Oh no, this is people tell a story, and it's like a 5. So the audition's 2 minutes. You lay out the groundwork, and then you do the whole presentation in front of everybody where you tell an 8-minute story, 7-minute story.
Do you make up your story as it goes?
No. It's almost got to be a real story. You can embellish a little bit, but a real thing that happened in your life. And I'm like, oh my God, Matt would be perfect. He loves to just talk and tell stories.
I'll tell a story and you drink while I'm doing, it's kind of like this show.
Right. Maybe we can do it together. Maybe we're a duo when we go up there. Cause we were the lady loved me.
We'll be like Tenacious D.
The audition lady, she loved me. She was she can't. I'm like, oh, what is this all about? Can we listen? Can we do this? And she was digging me.
Yeah.
Not from a vibe sort of way, but thinking I'm funny and entertaining the crowd. We're urging people to go up and tell stories. So yeah, I think we could do a duo.
Okay. It might be a thing.
That'd be awesome.
We'll have to make sure. Well, we have a ton of.
And then if we're in front of 200 people, then we wear our Subfacts gear. Oh my God.
We could do the infamous number 2 story. We'll relive.
It's got to be in a little bit. I mean, I don't know if that's an 8-minute story. There's got to be more 8-minute stories we have.
I think we've drawn that one out a little bit.
Yeah, we have.
So anyway, we'll figure that part out. I want to give a shout out this week to my main man, Derek Riggs.
Derek Riggs.
So for people who don't know who Derek Riggs is he is the guy who he basically created the Eddie character for Iron Maiden. And so, I've been doing the whole Iron Maiden thing. So I went down the rabbit hole of watching the documentaries and whatnot. And so Derek Riggs was the guy who created them, and he did all the artwork up until the 90s. Then at some point they just switched up because quite frankly, he couldn't keep up with all of the demand because it's not only like the album artwork, but it's like the T-shirts and all the
Obviously.
promotional.
And here's the thing: people don't even like Iron Maiden, still buy Iron Maiden stuff.
Well, I'm finding out that on Facebook, there's just a group of just the T-shirts. And I'm telling you,
for T-shirt fans,
it's got like thousands of people in it.
How does that happen?
And literally, somebody was like, out of curiosity, how many T-shirts are actually out there with the different designs? And people don't even know. They're just like, there's just way too many because each tour, like for instance, if they go to Canada, there's a Canadian version of whatever that
what? No, there's not.
And it's like Eddie on like a moose, or there's been Eddie with a hockey stick.
Is there like Russian versions with like a fighting a bear?
Yes, that's what I'm saying. They're all over the place. Even like a
Polish version of him eating kielbasa or something.
So there was the final show they did on this latest tour was in Florida, where Nico McBrain, the drummer, lives. So the final show had its own shirt, and it was basically the band with a barbecue, like at a barbecue, and I think they were monstered out, and so it's just another shirt that you can get.
That is crazy.
So like the marketing game is crazy, but anyway.
So why do you want to shout out to him?
So I want to give a shout out to Derek Riggs because I went to his website and he sells prints of different
the same artist work, right?
Yeah, like different Eddies that he's done, but also stuff that's not Eddie related to his own personal stuff. But of course I had to go with an Eddie thing. So I ordered this print that autographed to me because he's actually got a crazy autograph, which is pretty cool. He typically hides it within a lot of the album covers. It's typically it's like symbols. So anyway, so I ordered it, normal order, and I asked if they could personalize it. They did, and so it shows up really quick, and it's coming from California. But anyway, top notch. Shows up really quick. My mailman, instead of actually putting it in our mailbox, like left it in the front of my head, like right at the door in the rain.
Dummy.
And so it was only out there for like 2 hours that I could tell. I grab it and I take it out of the tube that it was in, and it's wet. And it was only wet on like the sides, but the
edges, but still.
You kind of go, okay. But then I'm sitting there going, I know it's the mail's fault. It's not really Derek Riggs's fault. It's
absolutely not.
And so I'm sitting there going, well, what do you do? There's really not much you can do. So I just, out of curiosity, I wrote them and Derek Riggs's email, and I said, hey, I'm not asking for anything. I just want to give you a little heads up that, the tube that it was sent, a lot of times when they
could send it in a better tube.
Yeah, a lot of times when they send things in a tube, like a poster of some sorts, it's usually wrapped in plastic on the inside.
Right.
And so this one wasn't. And so I said, just for future, I said it'd be best if you maybe wrap it in plastic and then stick it in the tube, just so it does the same thing that happened to me doesn't happen to somebody
else.
That's all I kind of said. And I was like, thank you for the quick service, because I thought that was kind of fascinating. And within like 5-10 minutes, instant right back. And it was like, I'm so sorry this happened to you. We're at a convention right now, but we're going to send like another one to you right away.
That's amazing, dude.
And I was like, wow, thank you.
That's unexpected.
I didn't expect any of that. And so
he could have been like, sorry, F off, right?
Yeah, because it's not his responsibility. And I even said, I said, look, I know it's not
your mailman, Shecky.
Yeah, that's basically it. That's what I would expect. And lo and behold, super quick service, and they actually wrapped it in plastic especially for me.
Wow. See, that's pimp, dude.
I was like, way to go.
Way to go.
I sent a nice thank you back to him.
D-Riggs.
I sent a nice thank you back to him. And I think that's something that, like, I was also using it as a lesson to the boy in this day and age when we were talking about
when people complain and they just rip people apart. Yeah.
I think people go out of their way to be a Karen, and they go out of their way to just.
And you weren't a Karen. You were just like, hey, some friendly, tip of the day, right?
Yeah. And that's what I told the boy. I was like, you know what? You get more with honey or whatever it is.
Always.
And so this is a case in point where 2 people work things out.
Father of the year, man.
Awesome.
Father of the year.
Yes, always teaching lessons. So shout out to Derek Riggs.
D Riggs, love
thank
it.
you, love it. It's already hanging on my wall.
Oh,
So it looks good.
yeah, it does look good.
So anyway, shout out for great customer service.
Way to go.
Yes. So next up, we have a little RIP section.
I love the RIP.
There were a few RIPs this week. Mills Lane,
Christy Alley, Mills
Alley,
Lane,
one of them.
and
then Dan Snyder's career.
By the way, that's the most significant of all of them.
The owner of the Commanders.
Holy,
but
Jesus.
Yeah, so he's in some deep doo-doo.
Right, he's been in trouble every other month. But now it's just, this is.
And the NFL also is in trouble too, because they kind of
100%
protected him. So it's like, I don't like.
Well,
I know,
that's because Roger Goodell is a tacoose. What I'm gonna
a coos?
A tacoose, whatever, he's an a-hole.
Yes.
I hate him.
So
hate Snyder. I hate Snyder too.
So we know Snyder could potentially do some like jail time for obstructing an investigation, from what I understand.
He absolutely can.
But if
he can do jail time for like participating in the sexual abuse of women.
Sure. No, I get that. But does the NFL, like, would Roger Goodell have to do it? Like, could he potentially? I'm wondering.
They can force the sale. Absolutely. 100%.
No, I get that. But I mean, on behalf of the NFL, could Roger Goodell have to go to jail for something? For obstruction?
God, that's tough.
I'd be curious to see if probably
they'd have
not,
to prove that he knew.
Yeah.
They would have to prove that he knew.
Mm-hmm.
We all know he knows, but they would have to prove it.
It'd be a tough sell.
It wouldn't be easy.
But I was thinking about Dan Snyder today, because everybody else was. How bad is this guy when he reflects on his life or ownership? He took a team that was one of the best teams of the 80s.
Absolutely.
It had
even decent in the 90s.
Yeah, and they had like automatic sellouts. The tickets were grandfathered in, season tickets were grandfathered in to a team that basically had to change their name, their whole identity, and you can easily get tickets at this point. So it's like you have to sit there and go, I might be the worst owner that's ever existed.
He's in my opinion, he's probably the worst owner that's ever existed in football. Mm-hmm. I mean, there are worse owners in other sports.
Yeah.
I mean, there was a guy who owned the Clippers who had to sell him, who's
he
basically found a recording saying racist stuff.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Easily, 100% him, 100% clear what he said.
Yeah, absolutely. So I think Snyder, unfortunately his career is a goner.
I can't imagine that. By 2023, I think he's gone.
Yeah, and they've already announced
it shouldn't take another 2 weeks.
They've already looked for buyers of the team anyway.
They have to force that quick.
Yeah,
someone's got to buy them quick.
Everybody's still pointing fingers at Bezos. So it'll be interesting to see if he represents.
Bezos has a better shot now because it's going to be more of a for sale. But before, if Snyder had a choice, he wasn't going to go to sell to Bezos. He hates Bezos.
Bezos is hateable, but if you have to,
Snyder hates him. So Snyder would just sell it for less to somebody else.
Well,
that was the rumor. He was going to sell it for less to somebody else.
I personally hope it's Ted Leonsis.
Oh my God! But you and Ted Leonsis.
But Leonsis already owns everything else sports-wise in DC, so it is what it is.
That's pretty crazy, though. Pretty crazy.
Pretty crazy.
Uh-oh. Love it.
I just get excited when I hear that. I really do. There's just something cool about it. So anyway, movies of the week. I think at this point everybody could most likely just stay home. The movie
Stay Home.
Couple movies are out. The big one, the one that's getting I think the most buzz is the movie called The Whale. It's basically the return of Brendan Fraser from like he crawled out of the rock 600 pounds heavier.
Yeah, like where
So he actually gained. So he was like,
did he really gain weight for the role?
He gained like he was like, I think he's like 300 pounds now, or was 300 pounds. And then the movie put an extra 300 on him. So he plays a 600-pound guy who's like, house ridden basically. And he's trying to rekindle his relationship with
his daughter. Yeah, I saw that. It looks
so it's one of those Oscar winning performances, but no one's going to really like it or watch it. You know what I mean? Like our audience, I'm pretty sure isn't going to watch it. Like I like Brendan Fraser. I don't have a problem with him.
I liked old Brendan Fraser, but he kind of looks weird, heavy, like with the face.
Well, that's part of the gig, though, right? He's playing a 600-pound dude with like oxygen and stuff.
Right, but he just looks weird. I don't know if he's looks as good as a heavy dude.
Yeah,
There's some people that look fine as a heavy dude. He doesn't look good as a heavy dude.
But like, you're not supposed to be like a good-looking fat dude in the movie. I'm assuming he's supposed to look pretty busted. So he kind of looks busted.
He does look busted.
And everybody's saying it's a great, and it probably is. I think Brendan Fraser is an underrated actor because like School Ties and stuff. I think he's an awesome actor. He just had bad choices in movies.
Well, the Mummy did okay, and then after that, he kind of tailed off a little bit, right?
Yeah.
Because the younger stuff,
George of the Jungle. Come on, nobody's watching that.
That was the terrible decision. But was younger, like you said, School Ties, the Harvard movie.
He had Bedazzled.
He did some really good stuff.
School Ties is the Harvard movie.
No.
Oh, is it another Harvard movie?
Yeah, there was the one he did with Joe Pesci.
Oh yeah, where he was a homeless, like Joe Pesci was homeless. Yeah, that was good. I forgot what it was called, but yeah. Okay, so in Airheads, but I think he just kind of, I don't know what happened to him, but I think he was actually a good actor.
So there was a story, I don't know if you guys knew, but he was actually like sexually assaulted by a producer in Hollywood. Ooh. And then he tried to report it. It was kind of like swept under the rug because he's male, and it apparently like really messed with his head to the point where he decided to just give up Hollywood for a while, and he walked away. And as part of the Me Too movement, he told his story.
It's very hard to get
and the producer finally that it happened to finally got kicked out of Hollywood essentially, or blacklisted, and now Brendan Fraser is starting to get roles again and stuff like that. So that's what happened.
I know it shouldn't matter, but was it a male producer or a female?
I believe it was a male.
Doing it? Oh,
that's where it gets a little itchy.
Yeah.
And I'm not talking about my balls again.
I know. I was going to say, do we need to pause? Yeah. No. See, now you're going to make me want to watch this movie just to support Brendan Fraser. You know what I mean? Like, the movie's going to suck, but I'm going to probably have to sit through it now. Okay. Well, anyway, the next movie, I'm definitely not going to watch it. It's Guillermo del Toro's.
Stop right there. I won't see anything.
Version of Pinocchio. But see, here's the thing. I don't necessarily like his movies, but I like him as a person. So
I might like him as a person, but his movies are
his movies are
garbage.
His movies are nubs.
Steaming pile of
that Shape of Water movie was awful.
Yeah, I'm not a fan of his movies.
He doesn't do anything good.
But you know what he did that's really cool?
What?
So he's like a complete fanboy, like me. Like I love like collecting stuff and all that stuff.
You're a fanboy of many things.
Yes. So he is as well. So when he got money, his wife wanted to she wanted a nice house, and he was like, "Hey, I've got all my collection that needs to go here." And she's like, "Oh, no, I'm not putting up with that." Like she wanted like the Martha Stewart style house, and he's like, "Okay, that's fine." He bought another house and then fanboyed it out.
He bought a house just for his fanboy.
Yes.
So not a man cave, a man house.
A man house.
That's pretty cool.
When you walk in, it's got life-size statues of like the monster from the Black Lagoon. And
by the way, that's awesome.
I know, right? And so it's kind of like an FU to his wife, but it's kind of like also compromise too. And it's when you have money.
God, if you had a ton of money.
Can you imagine if I had a lot of money and I could do that?
Like you had a separate house.
Yes.
Oh my God.
That would be awesome.
But if you had ridiculous money, you would do more things. You would have like a movie house, a music house, a sports house.
Absolutely. But like let's say you could do like just a Jets themed house where you had everything you wanted.
I would do
Jets-wise.
I would do my 4 favorite sports teams. Like
Yeah.
I would do Jets, Islanders, Knicks, Yankees, and I would.
But like you could literally like
The whole man cave would be Jets, but then other rooms in the house would have like maybe the bedroom was a mix. I might have like an office with Islander stuff, right?
like your kitchen could literally just be a bar with like real like beer and all kinds of stuff.
And I would have a guy who knows how to make all bar food there and be
Yeah.
like, boom.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. And so he actually works out of his fan house, and he then goes home each night to his
You know what?
real house.
You just reminded me. So whenever I do win like 500 million, 400 million, and
sure,
you know,
next Wednesday.
You know, when I want to hire, like I told you, I want to hire a barber. I want to hire a driver. I need to make sure that my driver is always wearing one of my 4 favorite teams' gear. And my barber is always wearing one of my 4 favorite teams' gear.
Even if they're not a fan of that.
Well, they would have to. Like I would say, like you don't need to be a fan, but you need to like pretend you're a fan.
For an extra $5 or something.
No, I'm giving them 100,000 a year or more.
Oh wow.
Yeah, they're going to be
on
on call. All they're going to do is cut my hair. They're not cutting anyone else's hair unless someone like if you wanted to come over.
Yeah.
Like of course I would say, hey, Matt wants a haircut.
Yeah. But I'm not wearing Jets gear.
No, you don't need to wear
Knicks
Jets
or
gear.
whatever.
All my friends could wear whatever they want, but like my
Oh, okay.
employees, I mean, you know,
okay.
it would be part of the thing.
Fair enough. I'm for it. I'm not opposed to it. But anyway,
Either that, if they didn't want to give the gear, maybe I would let him wear like a Rocky sweatshirt or a Rocky, you know, something like that.
That'd be pretty dope.
They would have to wear something that I would be a fan of.
Yes, nothing offensive.
Right.
Yeah. Okay, makes sense. So Guillermo del Toro, I don't like your movies, but I'd hang out with him.
Yeah, I would hang out with him too. Awesome.
He's a dude I want to hang out with. So anyway, he remade Pinocchio. I don't care about the original Pinocchio, and
I would never see any. I'm not
some-
going to see a Pinocchio movie ever for the rest of my life.
They've already had some other Pinocchios, and I just don't care. So
All right.
That's gone. Interesting movie. The next movie is on Hulu. It's called It's a Wonderful Binge.
Huh?
I don't think it's
Where
going
do
to
you
be.
get these?
I don't think
things?
it's going to be good, but the concept is interesting to me. So it's kind of like The Purge, but not a horror movie. So it's basically drugs and alcohol is like illegal 24/7, and there's only like a couple days where you can just everything is free.
Oh,
And you can just do whatever you want.
It's like a cool purge-ish type thing.
So
Okay.
apparently it's like a love story because the guy's trying to propose during the binge.
Okay.
And so I guess hijinks takes place and whatnot. But
all right.
so it's kind of like I said, it's a weird,
depending upon how it looks. I mean, I might.
it's a weird spin on
I
the
could check that
Purge.
out.
Yeah. So it's called what is it called again?
It's a
called
wonderful binge.
It's a Wonderful Binge.
All right.
Okay. So then, and those are just the movies for this week. Like I said, you don't need to watch any of them, but those are the ones that I would at least kind of look at a little bit. Interesting. There was a story that came out this week where Keanu Reeves was talking about, they were interviewing him really for John Wick 4 that's going to come out. But he was saying in the interview that he's more excited about the spin-off of John Wick 4 called Ballerina.
I am very excited for Ballerina.
So Ballerina,
Not only is it going to be in the style of John Wick,
yeah, it's in the world of John Wick, which is
and
awesome.
you're going to get more badass fighting and killing, and
yes,
you're get like hottie bazzotti. Like I mean,
so it's basically a badass female John Wick, basically, and the female is being played by Ana de Armas.
oh, love her.
So if you saw the Marilyn Monroe,
There's not
movie
much
that was
stuff
on
I wouldn't
Netflix,
do with her. Like if she would say this, I would say yes.
Yes, she is pretty fine in the
Yeah.
in the Marilyn Monroe movie, but she's going to be awesome. You can totally see that she's going to be a complete badass.
I'm in. I mean, I'm done. You had me at Ana de Armas.
Yeah, we don't know when it's coming out, but if Keanu is basically saying, you know, hey, I'm more excited about that than John Wick 4.
I mean,
Ballerina's
so
gonna
I'm
be-
in there. I'm in because it's good. You know, it's going to be done by a similar director.
Yep.
Ana de Armas. I'm in. Totally
Yes.
in.
Yep.
Subfacts.
Subfacts approved. We'll be there
Yeah.
night one. Interesting thing. In my final piece on the movie section is next week, because we're doing evergreen stuff, we're not going to talk about it. but is the premiere of Avatar: The Way of the Water.
Oh,
The first reviews have come in and they're all stellar.
really?
Yes. The problem is
He's done it again?
they're saying it's like better than the first one. I personally have no desire whatsoever.
I loved
see
the
it.
first one.
I saw the first one once in the movie theater, and that's all. I was bored after 15 minutes. I was like, "Good,
No,
I've
no,
seen
no.
the
I
3D.
thought it was
I'm
great.
good, whatever." No.
And visually, it was stunning.
Oh, it's visually great, and apparently this one, it basically makes you like go, "Who cares about the first one?" This one's supposed
That's
to be
insane.
on
How
point.
does Cameron do it?
I don't know, but you're gonna go see it because I'm not. So
100% I'll see
you can
it.
come back and tell us how it was. But
I love James Cameron stuff. I'm a not a fanboy, but like I do see all
the
of his
problem
movies.
is it's over 3 hours long.
Whoa.
Who wants to sit through that for Blue People for over 3 hours?
I'll
long?
have to see it twice. So like I'll have to go and see the whole thing, and then I'll have to like go in at halftime, and then I'll start the drinking over again, and then miss what I missed when I passed out during it.
Wow, that's pretty thought out. And Brian, I think
Because
up,
I mean, how can you get through that? I mean, I can't sit there for 3.5 hours.
Yeah,
and just watch.
like it's supposed to be great, but I personally hope it tanks. I hope it's all.
Why do you hope it tanks?
Because I want people to, like all the dummies who've been waiting a decade plus or whatever. Oh, it's the greatest, all that kind of stuff. No, it's not.
It's
I want
not
it
going
to
to be the
tank.
greatest. Come on.
I want it to tank. I want it to be a big stinking bomb.
I don't want it to tank, but I don't think it's going to be the greatest.
Brian brought up a point during the pre-show. We were talking about this because he's like me, not looking forward. He's not going to see it. Like I'm not going to see it. But like for all those people who keep saying how great it is, they can't name like any of the characters' names. They can't name any good line from the movie. There's no quotable lines whatsoever.
But it's not a quotable movie. It's not a comedy.
No, but I'm just saying.
Not
but think about
action movie.
So is
you just
Aliens, and everybody has movie quotes from Aliens.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess, but I mean,
but nobody can really like.
It's not that type of movie.
It's just a bad movie, except for the visuals.
I remember the high level concept. I don't remember anything there was no memorable anything for me in that movie. Like I can't think of a memorable scene.
Visually, it's a good movie. I don't know what to tell you.
Yeah, no, I hope you like it. I hope you enjoy it.
People, the good guys win at the end. I like that kind of stuff.
Okay. You'll have to tell Brian and I. You'll do the review of.
Here's the thing. It's visually amazing. Story wise, it's the same as the first one. There you go. That's the review.
This one just seems to be underwater or something on the water.
Exactly.
I mean,
I don't see how he can make it more visually attractive than the first one. Like technology's changed, but to that effect, I don't think so.
I mean, blue cartoons for 3 hours, not doing it.
Exactly.
So, you know what I would be doing?
Uh-oh.
This is Cindy Starfall, and it's time for Mooney's Dugout. Love you, Mooney.
I could just listen to that sound clip all day long.
Over and over. Yeah. Hey.
So, you know what? I mean, sports is in full effect, right? So there's lots of stories every week. So I just cover some of the bigger stuff because hockey's in full effect, basketball's in full effect, NFL is coming down to crunch time. And what do you call it? What's the other one? Baseball. Free agency is right now. So there are some big signings going on, like Xander Bogaerts signed. Boston signed another Japanese guy, which they signed like a Japanese guy every 5 years, it seems. Kelsey Jensen went to the Boston. A lot of big names move. Oh, Trey Turner going to the Phillies. That's huge. But the biggest contract of all, my stupid idiot New York Yankees gave Aaron Judge 9 years, $360 million. He's 30 years old.
One of my relatives was on Facebook just blasting the Yankees because you gave them this much money in the last. I recall they didn't win anything.
No, they didn't. You're right. They didn't win a World Series
So
with
it's
him.
not going to
He
make the
batted
team
like crap in the World Series.
It's not actually going to make the team better.
He,
You know what I mean?
He doesn't make the team better in the World Series or the playoffs.
Mm-hmm.
And guess what? He's had the best year he's ever going to have.
Mm-hmm.
He's already had it.
Yeah.
He's not going to hit 62 or 63 home runs ever again.
Mm-hmm.
He's not going to bat 310 ever again. You basically paid him for what he did.
Mm-hmm.
Stupid.
Yeah.
It's $100
and those are guaranteed contracts too, right?
Yeah, it's $110 million more than what they offered in April. Idiots.
Wow.
They're dumb. It's a foolish decision. And the worst of it is the Steinbrenner kids are not like Steinbrenner daddy. They are if they make a big money move, that limits the other big money moves that they make. Mm. If this was George Steinbrenner, he'd be like, oh, I'm going to give you 40. I'll give you 40. I'll give you 30. Now
they don't have a cap, do they?
No, but it's a luxury tax.
Okay.
So that means when they go over like whatever the cap is, 150, they start paying toward the pool that all the teams like the A's and the Rays and all the
those
other
who can't afford normal. Okay.
Right.
Well, yeah, I think it's kind of dumb, but good for Aaron Judge, right?
Yeah, good. I mean,
and his manager, if you can get it, take it.
Absolutely. I don't know if he's a Scott Boras guy or not, but he just got paid huge.
Yeah. So
dumb move. Then next, this is a little disappointing. College football playoff. It's same four as last. Well, there's one change. So the four teams that made it: Georgia number 1. Michigan number 2, TCU number 3, which is an absolute absurdity. And I will argue till the day is every day of the week about that. And then Ohio State is at 4. I honestly cannot believe they put TCU in above Bama because it's supposed to be the best football team in the country that plays in the playoff.
Who is they? Is it just a bunch of press like writers and stuff?
So it's a college football playoff committee, and they decide who goes in. So they took TCU, which is one of the Power 5 conferences, and they were 11-1 or 12-1 or something, and they picked them over Alabama, which had 2 losses. So they were like 10-2, 11-2. But Bama plays a much tougher schedule, and they absolutely would be either favored or a slight underdog versus Michigan at the number 3 spot other than TCU. Ridiculousness. TCU is like in a 9-point underdog. Alabama would not be a 9-point underdog versus Michigan. It wouldn't happen. It's just garbage. The CFP committee sucks. The fact that they made this decision sucks. And I'm just completely.
I don't watch college football, folks.
Well, in 2024, they're moving to, I think, a 12-team playoff or 8-team playoff. So it's going to solve a lot of this BS.
It's 12,
okay.
12 teams.
Is it 12? Okay, cool. Thank you, sir. And then the parlay for the last of it is going to be the Minnesota Vikings +2 versus the Lions. I don't know why the Vikings are getting points, but they are. So Vikings +2, Texans +17.5. I don't normally pick the Texans anywhere, but +17.5 points is a lot. Steelers -2, and then the Chargers, Dolphins over 52. There you go.
Awesome. With that being said, actually, I don't even know where I am.
What, with the whole sports section?
No, I'm trying to figure out. I keep losing my what button does what, and so okay. For the backstage pass, there's really nothing. So
you just wanted to hear it.
I just wanted to hear it. Folks, there's no good music coming out this week. Quite frankly, I think Alicia Keys has a Christmas album.
Is anything going to come before the end of the year, or is
no, because it's they get all the good stuff out in November because that's ready to put on the
shelves, people buy it, right?
But now it's just people putting out Christmas albums, and quite frankly, it's all the same Christmas songs, just sung by different people. And so, like I said, I think this week Alicia Keys has a Christmas album. I don't buy Alicia Keys albums normally, so
And you probably don't buy Christmas albums normally,
I typically don't because like I'm so
unless
used.
they're Atlantis or Iron
Yeah,
Maiden.
no, but like if one that I'm just used to, like if it's like somebody that I really like puts out a Christmas album, then I'll go and I'll get it. But most of these are just by whatever bubblegum pop person is out right now, and I'd rather hear just the original. Give me the original that I was used to hearing. So I don't care about their version of it. So there's really no good music out there. So just
Sorry, folks.
go listen to whatever you like listening to normally. You're not missing anything. So we'll segue over to the TV section from here.
And there's not much there either, is
Well,
there?
TV is interesting.
I started watching Wednesday. I do like it.
Good stuff.
Do like it.
Yeah, I've been still watching that. There was a couple documentaries. One of them was interesting. We were actually going to talk about it earlier in the show with somebody made a comment about like a good celebrity versus a bad celebrity, and we'll get into that later, I'm sure, in a future episode. But it's one of those things. I always look at it where I think that's just the perspective of the person at the time.
At the time, of course.
You never know what's going on at the time. So, and I'll give you an example. I watched a documentary this week. It came out this week. It's on the singer John Waite, who he was in a band called The Babies. Then he did his own solo stuff, and then he was with Bad English in the late 80s and 90s. The When I See You Smile, but he did that song Missing You, which everybody's
been missing you
since you've been gone away. So he had mediocre success, or at least some ups and downs. And so he had a documentary that came out, and of course, like I love any kind of rock doc.
Of course you do.
So
you're a sucker.
So I got it, and interesting thing is they paint him out to be kind of like a tough guy to work with and a tough guy to deal with.
Oh, that's stupid.
Interesting enough, though, is as you know, I worked at a TV station in the late 90s, early 2000s. And he actually performed at the station, and I spent my lunch hour, watching his performance. But not only did he come over, like I had a little bit of a conversation with him, I was also watching him and how he interacted with the other people. Couldn't have been nicer. Like literally just seemed to be the most humble, down to earth person.
So where do people get these stories?
So that's why when I was watching the documentary, I was kind of like,
that's not him, right? Everyone's got their own experience with him.
Either maybe I got him on a good day, or
people want to smear him. Who knows?
Yeah, I don't know. So I thought it was interesting. Like I said, from a documentary perspective, it's not a good documentary. For me, it's a little too long. It's basically him dealing with COVID, not him having COVID, but during the COVID crisis.
I will not watch it all.
That's what I'm saying. It's not something that you have to watch, but I watched it.
Of course you did.
I then moved on to the Branson documentary on HBO about Richard Branson, and
won't watch that either.
That's actually kind of fascinating.
Nope.
You don't like Richard Branson?
He's not. Why would I want to watch something about Richard Branson?
What I find to be fascinating.
I don't watch stuff about people just to watch stuff about people.
No, but it's like people who were like uber successful. You have to think like where did that come from, right? For instance, he was like 13 trying to create a magazine for students, like literally talking to people for ad space and all this kind of stuff. Who in their right mind at 13 thought that they could create a magazine, like a legit magazine, and then go and do it? Who thought they could own a record label or all that kind of stuff? So it's like, where do you get the wherewithal to do that? Like,
hey, some people are motivated, man.
Like, can you imagine at 13?
Wake up one day and they think, hey, and then their parents support them, and the rest is history.
So that's that. I guess that's what I find to be fascinating. Is I'm trying to learn more about like, how did he get that? Like that thing that said, hey, I'm just going to do it and then do it successfully.
Driven. These people are driven, man. They have a different makeup than some people.
And I'm still watching the Shaq doc on HBO, which is fantastic. I love it. It's making me, and you can actually help me with this from a sports perspective, because I don't really watch basketball that much. especially in the Shaq era. Like I knew Shaq who he was, and I liked him as a like more from Blue Chips and stuff like that. But I didn't really follow his career that much. They're making it seem as if he basically owned the Lakers teams that went 3 in a row. Kobe was a part of it. They were always
not
fighting,
at all. Absolutely not.
but they're making it seem as if he was the more dominant of the players.
They were equally dominant, and if anything, Kobe was more the dominant player. It was proven when Shaq left and Kobe won one with Gasol.
Well, I guess Shaq was like had a toe issue and stuff like that. And,
no.
Okay, so I'm just saying
Shaq didn't. I don't think he went to one championship with Orlando.
Mm-hmm.
He won one with the Heat, I believe.
Yep.
And then he goes there and he won 2 with the Lakers. But
he won 3 with the Lakers.
He's not the dominant force. He's a dominant force, but he's not the reason. Kobe is probably a top 3 or 4 basketball player of all time.
Okay, and that's what
he went to other championships without.
That's
O'Neal.
what I had always thought. But I'm watching this, and maybe it's because I like Shaq, and I like everything that I'm seeing, and I'm sitting there going, man, he seems to be the more dominant person.
The way they portray him,
and it probably is, but
50% free throw shooter. The guy was good, but he's. I mean, Kobe's the guy.
Okay.
I mean,
we'll watch it and see if I'm seeing.
By the way, if they ever got rid of anybody, they were going to get rid of Shaq before Kobe. Yeah, 100%.
Well, it did divide the locker room apparently because it was, I guess, and everybody kind of agreed that Kobe's hard to get along with, and Shaq was easier to get along with. But it was one of those, people took sides, and it was kind of like, if Kobe even remotely liked you, then you were on the Kobe side, and the rest were on the Shaq side. So it's like they definitely paint Kobe to be like a guy who's not that easy to get along.
He wasn't, but because he demanded a lot. Him and Shaq argued all the time about Shaq's weight. Yeah. Shaq would show up overweight. They would have won maybe 4 championships, but he came in overweight, and half the time he had to get in shape by middle of the season. And Kobe was pissed.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, well, hey. Anyway, check it out. I do want to see your perspective on it at some point. But like I said, I'm watching it. I'm going, way to go. Shaq, that's my boy. So yeah, Branson's good. Oh, the other thing I wanted to talk about was Good Morning America. You know how Good Morning America has these 2 hosts that basically are having an affair, and it's rumored that they're having an affair.
Ooh.
And so it's Amy Robach and TJ Holmes is the guy's name. And apparently they're both married and they're having an affair with each other. And Good Morning America basically just suspended them. And I'm like, I personally would keep them on the air. Because I'm like, that's more like, it's not.
Why are they taking them off the air?
Because
you know what? If it's a known, if they're known philanderers and they're cheating on each other, then they don't want to portray that. That's a show where they need to portray professionalism.
I guess I'm saying that's the show I want to watch. Like that's the show I want to see.
Yeah, but you can't have USA Today or what is it? Good Morning America with people with like these forbidden morals and like having like side affairs. They don't want that.
Well, because like that Morning Joe show, him and the main girl, they're like dating or engaged or whatever. And I'm like, that is allowed. But I'm like, hey, what they do behind the scenes, I don't care. But I do want to see
it. Absolutely matters on shows like that.
I want to see it. Like that's what it made me almost want to go to Good Morning America because I'm a Today Show guy. So I'm like, that's what I want to see. I want to see these people. I want to see the whole like awkward.
Yeah, they can't do that. There's no way. Celtics coach got fired or suspended.
And I think that was wrong too.
It happens, man. They don't want that black eye stain. They don't want any of that stuff going on. You really need to keep hush hush. And the fact that they couldn't keep it hush hush, that means their marriages are done.
Yeah, apparently one of them, Amy Robach, was married to Elizabeth Shue's brother, I think. Remember Andrew Shue, like one of the Shue.
I don't know any.
Yeah, he's
the only Shue I know is Elizabeth.
Yeah, but he's an actor too. But anyway, both of their relationships are bad. I'm just thinking I don't want to. I want them to stay in the air. I'm pushing for them to stay in the air. So that's something I just thought about. I was just like, keep them going. I want to watch that. Like that's what I want to watch. And so with that being said, that is the TV segment. Lastly, something I wasn't sure if you would want to do it on the show, but this thing that's blowing up on TikTok because Lindsay Lohan.
I try anything, you know that. Within reason.
Okay, because Lindsay Lohan decided it's something that's been around forever, but I guess she brought it to the forefront recently, and so it's called PILK, and it's basically combining Pepsi with milk.
Why wouldn't I do that? That's amazing.
You would drink that? Okay.
Of course I would drink that.
That just sounds gross
delicious
to me. It sounds so gross to me.
How does it sound gross? I like milk and I like Pepsi.
Okay,
it's probably like a cream soda.
Yeah, it sounds
cream
delicious.
Sodas aren't even.
I don't like cream soda, but I mean, I think that sounds pretty damn good.
And I know like Laverne and Shirley used to drink it all the time.
Do I have to does it have to be like full test milk? Can I do like, the 0% milk? That's what I like.
You can do whatever milk you want, but as long as you're putting it with a Pepsi, then
I don't like 100% milk or whatever. I like 2%.
Okay.
Or no fat.
Okay. So we'll do the PILK challenge.
100%.
Maybe we'll do it next show.
Yeah. I'm in.
PILK challenge. I'm not going to do it. You're do it for the show.
Of course I would do it.
Okay.
That's easy.
Cool.
I would do a lot worse than that.
Okay, folks. Well, we're going to have a PILK challenge.
Shoot, I turned my tongue red and I was not right physically for 2 days.
Yeah, you might actually enjoy this one.
This one's easy.
Okay, cool. Awesome. Brian, let's make the PILK challenge happen. And I think that's it. We
made it.
We did.
So glad we made it.
Looks like we made it.
Who sings that? I have no idea.
I can think of it now that you're looking at me.
How do you not know? I don't know.
No,
I
would know it if you weren't like gazing into my eyes when you're saying it. You just kind of looked at me with this look, and I'm like, no.
I'm not singing to you, dude.
I'm gonna have to look it up. Really, Brian, can you look that up really quick?
All right. So while he looks that up,
what were the lyrics again?
I want.
Looks like we made it.
All right.
Barry Manilow.
Look at his fingers go.
That's it.
Barry Manilow. Ooh.
It's a miracle.
Do we really? I mean, I don't know.
I love Barry Manilow. I'm a fan of
love Barry Manilow.
Oh, I'm a Fanalow and a half. Don't think I'm not.
Do they really call him Fanalos?
Yeah, they're called Fanalos. And so
that's the best.
In fairness, I actually did know a Fanalow. I used to work with one. And like she would wear like the Barry Manilow t-shirts and everything. And like I like the hits. Like, he writes the songs that make the whole world sing, And so
I'll leave that alone.
I do enjoy me some Barry Manilow.
Oh my god.
I would totally see him in concert if he was touring.
Can our fans be Fanifax?
That would be awesome. Didn't we already have a name for our Subfax fans?
We have 9 different names,
okay.
But maybe we can call them Fanifax, new ones.
But yeah, I'm a fan of. Oh, okay. So.
Oh, the guy who did the intro. I mean, we're gonna end with him too. We love him. He's the best. He's in England right now, eating McFlurries from McDonald's. So
that's true.
Cheers to you, my brother. All music, all tech support for Subfax is provided by none other than Andy at Creative Underground. He runs a state-of-the-art production studio in Leesburg, Virginia. If you want to find out more, you can always go to his website, but that's not all. He offers a wide variety of services, including custom music creation. He does video live stream events. He does corporate events, and he does pro karaoke. But it doesn't end there, folks. Now for the holiday time, he's doing gift cards. So, what we're talking earlier in the show about the holiday spirit not being out there, you can kickstart it. You can go to his website, buy some gift cards, treat someone to pro karaoke, a corporate event, or just something from his, repertoire of services. You'll love it. www.creativeunderground.
.co, not .com.
Oh, wow. The little delay
No,
there.
I actually paused a little bit because I do want to give a little shout out to Andy and his mom. She's had some health issues, and so I want to give a good shout out to her. Send
prayers, man, prayers. We're sending positive
vibes her way. And so I think she's going to get better much sooner. Now that
we're going to put the love in the air.
Yes. So take care, Andy's mom, and have fun in jolly old England, Andy.
Yes.
So with that being said, we're moving on to Ben from KStreetPhotographyDC.com. Ben is an award-winning image builder and FAA
award-winning everything. Dude's a pimp.
Yeah. Oh, don't think he's not taking pictures of Christmas lights and Christmas trees and all that stuff at the moment. Pretty much anything, when you think of any kind of photography, you should really only be thinking of Ben. At KStreetPhotographyDC.com. Everybody else will tell you they can take a good picture. They're lying.
Yeah.
Pretty much Ben is your only option.
Ben is the man.
Yeah. It's pretty
go to him and him only.
So yeah, anything picture wise, pretty much go to Ben, KStreetPhotographyDC.com.
Boom. And then last but not least, the guy who literally has turned the automobile cleaning business on its heels, Big Dog Auto Detailing, BK and his crew, literally anything that's on wheels, they can clean, make look like new, and sparkle, and anything you want. If they were around, I don't know how they do it or what is in the water or the soap, but it's just amazing. And by the way, you got to call them now because you got to get your car with that ceramic wax so it protects your car for the entire horrible winter season coming up.
Yeah, and once again, very similar to Andy from Creative Underground with the gift cards. The gift of a beautiful detailed car from Big Dog Auto Detailing is a perfect
goes a long
gift.
way.
Absolutely.
Especially if you want to hoard it until March, and then you'd be like, oh my God, now watch. What up?
Yeah,
right?
So if you're looking for that last minute gift and or stocking stuffer, reach out to Big Dog Auto Detailing for get somebody a detail for Christmas.
I would. And by the way, if you own a what are those?
They're horse trailers,
music trailers, tour buses,
all of the above.
Literally, if you have a friend that drives anything, just seriously,
if it's got wheels on it and it's dirty, it's getting cleaned by Big Dog Auto Detailing.
Exactly. 571-233-8716. Tell them Subfax sent you.
Boom. And so now it's up for us. So folks, we said it earlier in the show. It's crucial to write in and be a part of our evergreen shows. Remember, it's put together your perfect band, live or dead.
Right. Up to 6 members, and then a perfect football team.
Live or dead. And so write into subfaxpodcast@gmail.com.
Yep.
Once again, subfaxpodcast@gmail.com. Make sure you get your homework done by, just give yourself till next Wednesday.
Yeah.
And
then you'll submit it Thursday morning or afternoon.
No, just do it Wednesday.
There you go. Submit it Wednesday night.
We don't need any late comers. Just Wednesday. And then you'll be part of the evergreen shows that we will be doing. If you want to learn more about our show, which we have new listeners in the Bahamas.
Hello, Bahamas.
I don't know really what, I've been to Bahamas a few times, but I don't know if there's a special way to say hello. I wish there
Mahalo
was.
or no?
No, that's Hawaii. But anyway,
mahalo anyway.
Mahalo. And so, and we have some German listeners.
Undeschleig. I don't know.
Hello. And so, anyway, for you new folks out there, if you want to learn more about our show, go to subfaxpodcast.com.
Become a friend of the show, buy some merchandise.
Absolutely. You want to be the first person in Germany with some Subfax gear.
Yes, you do.
So subfaxpodcast.com for all information.
And go to YouTube and like and subscribe, folks. Like and subscribe.
Yes, if you want to watch Mooney itch his nuts,
the itch his nuts episode.
Check out last week's show on YouTube.
No itching this week.
Exactly.
I was keeping my fingers busy with the cord here. See.
Exactly. But if you want to make sure you don't watch him itch his nuts, check out our audio versions on Spotify, iHeartRadio, Pandora, Apple Podcasts, and
Stitcher.
pretty much anywhere you get podcasts. We'll be there.
Bam.
So, folks, as you know, we're doing evergreen shows in the next couple weeks. So have a safe and happy holiday, and we will hear from you. We'll talk to you later.
Boom.
Boom.